Welcome back to Two Witches Talking. I'm Megan, and I'm here with Morgan.
Hello.
Hello. How are you today?
I'm good. It's hot. It's going to be 111 today.
Ooh, that is hot.
I didn't realize that until it was 103 at 9 a.m.
Oh, no. I will make you jealous with the fact that yesterday morning I was on a walk with my dog, and it was 69 degrees out.
Oh my God, that sounds heavenly.
It was heavenly. It was amazing. Like, it was so nice.
Yeah.
But we're like 103 today, so, it was short-lived.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes.
Yep.
But other than that, I'm excited about today's topic. Today's topic was inspired by a video I saw this morning.
I love it. I love how, you text me and I'm like, sure, let's do it.
Yeah. Well, I love that, most weeks, one or the other will beat the other, to the, what are we talking about text? And, I don't know. I think every time the other person already has the phone in their hand and is like, I was about to text you.
Yep.
But yeah, today I was just doing the morning scroll on social media and I found a video of, there's this guy that's walking around with a lit stick of Palo Santo in his house, and he's cleansing his house, and he's like, I'm not religious, but I'm very spiritual. And it was interesting. He said, I don't have any graven images in my house, which to me felt very Christian based.
Yeah.
But he said he got a Basquiat painting, which I don't know if he got an original or if it was a print, but he picked it up and he was going to put it on this gallery wall that he has a lot of paintings from a relative up there. And he said that he went to hang it on the wall, and it's he made eye contact with the figure in the painting and got a really dark, eerie feeling. And, put it outside in his car because he was like, no, sir, we are not doing this, and started cleansing his house. And so I was looking at all the comments, and there were people that were like, oh yeah, my granny always told me never get anything from a thrift store, never accept anything from anybody else, anything like that. And then it also made me think about actually the episode on your podcast recently where you were telling the witchy stories, and you were talking about the antique store and the back corner. So do you want to fill everybody in here just a little bit in case they didn't hear that, kind of what is going on in the back corner of that antique store?
Yeah. So we have a haunted antique store here in Tucson. It's the 22nd Street Antique Mall. If anybody is in Tucson or coming through, it's actually been documented in books. But the ghost supposedly is a woman that lives upstairs, and it's a little colder in that corner where she is supposed to reside. But for me, it was downstairs in the opposite corner of the shop almost, where I got attacked by something at some point. It went home with me. I had an attachment for about 2 weeks where I got super depressed. And then finally one day just had it all out, cleansed using everything. I think I had sage, Palo Santo. I had holy water from the Catholic mission. I had sweetgrass that had been blessed by a Native American. I had all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And when I took a shower afterwards, I felt so much better, but I looked and I had 3 scratches on my arm. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I've never seen those before.
Yeah.
And they're weird. They were weirdly placed.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, damn. And it was, through talking with other people that they were like, haven't you been, when did you start getting really depressed? And I'm like, oh, yeah, right after I went to that antique mall.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I still shop there because
Sure. I mean, why not? It's fine.
But now I don't wait. As soon as I bring anything home, whether it is from, or whether it's for myself, or we do antique sets here at Ain't Goddess Creations. We'll buy teacups or, something like that. As soon as it comes back to the office, we're cleansing the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Because we've had weird things happen. I will tell you this, we forgot to cleanse a set of red goblets that we had one time that we were putting into a cup we forgot to cleanse them, and we were trying to set up the listing and it would not post. It was the craziest thing. So finally, Megan, my creative director here, she was like, did we cleanse those? And I'm like, oh shit, we forgot to cleanse them. Immediately went, cleansed them. The listing worked after that.
Wow.
It was
my
the craziest
gosh.
thing. It was so crazy.
I love that.
I'm just glad that was pretty quickly. Like, I think we brought them home on like a Thursday and they were going to go up that Saturday.
Okay,
so it was very quick, the turnaround of like, oh shit, we forgot to cleanse it.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was like a Tuesday we had gone shop, but it was that week. And I was like, oh, thank God. Because just weird shit happens when you get stuff from antique stores.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, and there's all just like, even there's not like a specific attachment to it. Sometimes it's just like, I don't know. I call it spiritual junk. It's just like junky energy. It's like, it's not evil. It's just junky. It's like you gotta, like you would wash a goblet before you drink from it. So you should cleanse it too. Yeah.
Well, you never know too how many owners it had.
Right.
Number one. Number two, has it been sitting in grandma's attic for the last 50 years?
Right.
Like that's just some dingy energy anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like getting a bunch of fingerprints on like a wine glass or something. It's like, it's not dirty, but like there's like those natural oils on our hands that leave a print. And I believe that energy leaves a print on things too.
Yes.
So, yeah. So what are some of your favorite ways to cleanse? Either your home or those objects or just like anything.
Smoke cleanse is the easiest, and I'll even run just like a really easy incense stick or cone incense.
Yeah.
That's the easiest, or what I have the most of between incense and I'm not a big fan of sage just because it smells like Thanksgiving to me, so it just makes me hungry.
Yeah.
And my husband does not like sage, or I tell him his demons don't like sage either. So, so I prefer cedar or rosemary.
I love rosemary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for cleansing a house, I'm a fan of beating pots and pans or ringing bells or doing my singing bowl. Mm-hmm. I'll do that. I love a good sound cleansing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love a sound cleansing. To me, that's the easiest because, I mean, I have a couple of bells, but even I'll just like walk around and just like clap my hands, like just move the energy throughout. We actually had a friend of ours was our house cleaner for ages, and man, she would come in and she's always like this bright, bubbly personality. She's like, if you can imagine like kind of like a fairy from a movie, but like make her 6 feet tall. This is my friend. And she's amazing. But she would come in with her headphones and she'd just be singing along in her own little world. And I swear it was the combination of actually cleaning, but also like her singing, like the whole house, the vibe would be brought up. So I'm a big believer in sound cleansing, but I do like some smoke too. Like I said, I love rosemary. I have rosemary just planted outside my front door. I planted that years and years ago, and I don't care how cold it gets, how deep freeze we get, it comes back every year. And I love like just as I'm walking into the house, just like kind of touching it and releasing those oils. Oh, it's the best. Yeah. It's the best. Yeah,
I could see that. I can't get anything to grow here, so unfortunately, I don't have plants.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I would be planting cacti, be like protection.
I can kill cacti too, though. So
okay, so maybe not. Yeah, that's fine.
I have a very gifted black thumb. Okay, very gifted.
I'm like, wait a second, you're killing cacti in the desert.
Yes.
That's a neat trick.
We used to have one of the pallets, like my husband took a pallet, put it up near our front door, and we planted cacti, all different kinds of the little baby ones.
Yeah.
They're all dead.
Oh, no.
They're all dead. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, well, never mind. Scratch that. But yeah, so like if I were to have brought, well, first of all, I'm just curious as to whether or not this is an original. I don't think it was, based on how it was put in his car. I would not put a original Basquiat painting in my backseat like that. Second of all, it's like, I wonder, it's like, did you pick it up like from somebody or a or like a thrift situation or an estate sales, I mean, you got to think about like there's not only the residual energy of the owners, but then there's that residual grief energy. And then if you're going, yeah. And if you're going through the space as well, it's like anybody that's walking through that has spiritual junk around them could rub off on what you bring home. But like on the other end, it's like, I think if I just brought home a print of something from like TJ Maxx, I wouldn't worry about it. You know, I'd put it on my wall.
Yeah.
So it's interesting his interaction with that. I found really fascinating, and I truly believe like something came over him, and he was like, "Oh hell no, we're not doing this." But yeah, I would love to know more about the story.
Yeah, and this whole thing, this whole subject just actually brought up a point that I've never actually thought about before until this
Oh,
moment. There is one thing that I will not even look at an antique store, nor have I ever purchased from an antique store.
what's that?
Jewelry.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
we were like, as we were talking, it hit me that
Yeah.
like I don't even look at the jewelry when we go. And it's not because
Yeah.
like I'm like, oh, I'm not here for a piece of jewelry. And that's when I was sitting here in the back of my head, it was like, no, buying old jewelry's weird. It like that creeps me
Interesting.
out a little.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. I thought you were gonna say mirrors. I really
Well, yeah,
did.
I'm not gonna buy a mirror new. Not gonna do that either.
Right.
Um,
Right.
no. I will buy picture frames and turn them into scrying mirrors
Yep. Yep.
in a heartbeat. But yeah, it just hit me that like even as much as I love especially like flashy jewelry, like gemstone jewelry, you know, rings, things like that, it just hit me. I don't even, in fact, when we get to the jewelry cases at any antique mall, I walk by very quickly. I won't buy a piece.
Interesting.
And then you said something about estate sales, and I'm like, oh, the jewelry there's even worse.
Oh, that's
I don't know why.
interesting. Yeah. Huh. See, and I don't know if I've ever purchased jewelry at an antique store, but I'm always like drawn to it. I always think it's really cool. I have a couple old pieces from my grandmother, which I think like in your family is like a different energy, but
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
I wonder
Okay.
if it's just because jewelry tends to be very personal to
It
people, so
is.
it's going to have more of their energy. And if it's at an antique store,
Yeah.
it either came from an estate sale or it is somebody's grandma's necklace and they didn't want it. But
Yeah.
like that's your grandma's necklace. You don't want it? Like
Right. Right.
I don't know. So just the energy associated with jewelry at
Oh,
an
that's
antique. But it took this conversation for me to realize that oh man, I walk right by
Mhm.
all of the jewelry like the antique jewelry. We have a
Right.
lot of people that will hand make jewelry and sell it in their booths at antique malls.
Sure. Sure.
And I do look at that stuff, but
Yeah.
the antique stuff that's clearly old, I just zoom right by it.
Interesting. Yeah. Huh. I will say, I do feel a lot of energy around the jewelry cases. And so maybe it's just like your energetic body is like, nope, we're going to keep going. Whereas mine's like, ooh, let's go dig through it because, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. I will say I did get before my witchy days, I did get I ordered a piece of jewelry on Etsy that was crafted with some like antique and thrifted pieces, right? And they kind of created something new. And it came in and it was great. And that night I had the weirdest dreams. And so the next day I was like, that's just kind of weird. And like, this was before, like I said, I was really into my witchy stuff. And so I was just like, hey, if there's any energy around this necklace, go now. And like everything was fine. So I think you can, you know, do something that simple for most things. But that was the one and only time I've had a incident that was questionable with antique jewelry. Yeah.
Yeah. No, and I love
Interesting.
buying my supplies from antique stores,
Oh
like
yeah.
altar items or pictures
Hmm.
for my sacred space. You know, I've found really good just imagery and like old paintings or old sculptures. I've bought people's hand done sculptures and stuff for my sacred space, you know, and just as soon as I get home, I'll run it through some smoke. Somebody I know, I want to say it was in the Coven. They like antique furniture, which is, I love antique furniture too. And they had found, this was, I think this was a couple of years ago, if I remember, but they had found like a cabinet or something they wanted to turn into an altar. Yeah. And they put it outside for like 30 days.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But like a whole like moon cycle to like cleanse it and really like purge it of energy. And there was a couple other people like, oh yeah, I do that with any antique I get from like any, and I'm like, I've never heard of that. But apparently there are people that will leave it either outside or like on a windowsill or in front of a window inside where it, and they don't do anything with it for 30 days. They cleanse it as soon as they get it, but then they just leave it for 30 days to really cleanse all the residual energy out of it before they use it.
That's cool. That's really cool. I actually have a little thrifted item back here that you can see on the video. There's a little silver tray that I've got candles and gemstones and stuff on, but I got it at a Goodwill, and I just brought it home and did a little smoke cleanse and put a little selenite on it, and it was good to go. So, you know, just some little things like that. But I love the sitting it outside thing. That's a really cool idea. I'll definitely save that for if anything gives me repeated trouble. I'll be like, you know what, outside. Go. You are punished. You are grounded. Go.
Yeah.
I love that. That's super cool. Well, it was funny. It was several years ago. We were in Key West and we did a ghost hunt, and a friend of ours was on the trip with us. And, you know, at the end, it was interesting. I've never had a ghost hunt where they actually like pulled out like Florida water, and they pulled out little things of cascarilla powder, the eggshell powder. And like my friend was looking at me like, is this cool? I'm like, yeah, you're fine. Like, it doesn't hurt to cleanse. But they were like, oh, you know, dab some of this on your pulse points. And I always like to put a little bit of the powder on the back of my neck. And some people were just like really wary of it. I'm like, it's fine. You're just cleansing yourself. I thought that was really interesting. But I keep cascarilla powder around, and all kinds of sprays. Like I've got Florida water in my bag. I've got some up here. I've got downstairs. All of that just for like a quick little spritz of something. Just like get all that stuff off me.
That's what Megan and I do whenever we go, because we'll take days here where we'll go to antique stores to look for items for kits. And before we walk in, we're both like with our Florida water mist. We're like all over, like, all right, we're good. And then when we come back out, we're like, so before we go in and when we come back out, we're spritzing, because spritzes or mists are so easy for cleansing, especially even if you just have, I mean, you know, if you're a witch on a budget, you could literally just fill a mist bottle with water and charge it under the full moon. You know, or salt water. Just add a little bit of salt to it, and then that can be your cleansing spray.
For sure.
So yeah.
Well, and like seriously, like herbs that are already in your pantry. Like you could do a little pinch of rosemary, do a little pinch of thyme, you know, figure out what you want to put in there and just pop it in. So it's very easy. And then one of my favorite things to do, especially like when it gets cooler, so toward the fall and then in the spring, is just pop all those windows open and just let the air do its thing, because air has, I mean, it refreshes your house in so many ways, but it'll just move that energy out, because energy gets stuck in corners and things, and closets. So sometimes you just got to move it.
Yeah, and I double duty too. So like, if we mop the floors, back in the day, I used to use a steam mop. And so I would take a little paper towel and put essential oils on it for cleansing.
Nice. Yep.
And then there was like a little pocket on the inside of the, you know, pad that goes on the bottom of a steam mop. And so I would put it in there and steam the house. Yeah. When somebody mops our house now, depending on what's going on. Sometimes I will just splash a little bit of Florida water into the mop water.
Yep.
For them, to actually mop, because normally I'm the one that vacuums, and then one of the boys comes behind me and mops.
Yeah.
And if there's been some shit going on, yeah. I'll put some holy water in there and a heartbeat in my mop water. Yeah. I've been known to do a simmer too, so like simmer some herbs and then strain the herbs out. And added some of that to the mop water as well, just along with whatever cleaning products you do. And that way you're cleaning and cleansing at the same time.
Yeah.
Because I love to double duty. It cuts down on time.
Amen to that. Yeah. No, I've done that before. I actually put on some really good, like, high vibe music, and I made a simmer pot as I was, like, doing other things. And then I let that simmer for, like, maybe 45 minutes to an hour, just kind of while I was doing things. And then I let it cool, strain it off, and then I put it in a spray bottle, and I went and washed my front door with that. Oh my God. Like, not only was it clean, it was cleansed, and then the sun hit it, like, in the mornings or evenings, and it would just, like, bring those essential oils out. So, highly recommend doing a simmer pot and then using that water for something else.
Yeah, or even just some, you said essential oils. Yep. So even if you happen to have, because like lavender will cleanse and calm. It's really good for houses. My favorite are citrus though, because like lemon and orange were usually my favorites for the house, because not only do they cleanse, but they uplift. Citrus will uplift a mood. So, but just depending on if we were having, people over, or if maybe somebody had just visited and I needed to heavily clean, I would use different essential oils. But you can actually just do a couple of drops in your mop water too, if you happen to have some of those.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Is there any other method that you use that we haven't covered? Because I feel like all mine are done.
Yeah, no, I feel like especially with smoke cleansing too, if you, just to educate, if you were to use Palo Santo, make sure that it came from an ethically sourced place. There are a lot, so most of the Palo Santo in the world comes from Peru, but most of it comes from family farms, and that's all they do is just because Palo Santo doesn't take as long to mature as most trees. So like this is what the family's done for 100 years. They've had Palo Santo farms. So if you find one of those, I say that it's beautiful to use that because you're supporting a family farm that's been in existence for 100 years. And for me, Palo Santo cleanses and uplifts. Whereas like rosemary will, but I feel like cedar just kind of cleanses and leaves it like more grounding for cedar.
I agree.
And sage just makes everybody angry in my house, so I don't use it a lot.
Yeah. And that's another thing, is just make sure you're sourcing your sage ethically as well.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Oh my gosh, good point. No, I love a good like a rosemary with lavender bundle. Real nice. But yeah, sage always smells like stinky pot to me. I hate to be that way, but it just does. And so I don't like burning it at home. So yeah, I usually
it smells like Thanksgiving to me, just because that's what I shove in the turkey is like fresh sage and rosemary and thyme.
Yep.
So as the turkey's cooking, my house just smells like sage. So yeah, burning it, I'm just like, oh, I'm hungry.
Ooh, Thanksgiving, I know. Well, when I was there and you saged the office, I was like, ooh, that's some good sage. Like, it smells like Thanksgiving. It was great.
That should have been Christy sage.
It was Christy sage.
That's what we call it. So Christy's a friend of mine. She's been a customer for a long time, and she's a good friend of mine. She makes me sage bundles every year. And every year it changes because it depends on what her sage harvest is that year.
Yeah.
But she uses a lot of, I think, grandmother sage, and I don't know, she puts all kinds of stuff. And let me tell you, that stuff will rip demons out of you.
It will.
I feel like. So So that's why we cleansed either before or after. It was after the witch's bazaar,
It
right?
was before. It was before. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, all right, let's get everything out here, have a clean slate for all these people to come into the office. We saged afterwards, too.
Yeah.
Because we actually had somebody dropped off something in our warehouse.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, I never told you that story?
No.
Oh, yeah. It kept fucking with the plumbing. And we had the back bathroom petitioned off. You couldn't use the back bathroom, and we had tables in front of it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We came into the shop that Monday, and all of us heard, like, the pipes were going. It was crazy. So we all went back there, and we just smelled something weird. Ew. And like I said, the bathroom had been blocked off. Well, nobody uses the bathroom in the warehouse anyway. Yeah. But what was the craziest thing is we got Christy Sage on it. We got some mists on it. And it was when we brought out my singing bowl that we heard it. All of a sudden, something hit the ceiling, which we just have aluminum foil ceilings in the warehouse. Yeah. It hit the ceiling, and we heard it run across.
What?
The aluminum foil. And Megan had opened up the back door. Yeah. And, like, she was doing the singing bowl, and I was in there with, like, the sage and everything. And I was knocking some stuff, too, because, we heard it run, and we all froze. Like, I just got goosebumps because all froze, and because nobody wanted to say anything. And then finally I was like, y'all heard it run, right? And they were like, oh, my God, you heard it, too. Thank God.
Right. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
no.
and it ran, like, out the door.
No
Even
way.
though it was like in this, because it had gone up, we guess up the pipes and out. But somebody, and we're pretty sure we know, because there was one person that kept hanging around our table. Yeah. Talking about, like, she was just basically like trauma dumping a lot. Yeah. And she had like icky vibes. And what's weird is I think afterwards, everybody's like, oh yeah, do you remember the woman in the orange shirt, right? Yeah. And I'm like, I never saw a woman with an orange shirt. And they were like, all of y'all were like, you never saw
talk to her. That's so funny.
I talked to the woman in the orange.
Yes, it was very quick, but yeah. Oh yeah. Your guides were like, not today.
They wiped me.
They did.
They put up something.
Dude,
because
they stood between you and her is what must have happened.
Yeah, I have no recollection of this woman in the orange shirt, but I think you did. Yep. Megan, Ren did. Everybody else did. They were like, she was creepy and she was trauma dumping everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I was like, and they were like, she was trauma dumping dark stuff. And I'm like, I have no idea who y'all are talking about at all.
That's like, so funny.
None. Yeah. So we're pretty sure something that was attached to her was like, oh, I'm going to stay here. And then we were like, nope.
That's creepy. I love it. Yeah. So sometimes you gotta pull everything out.
Everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And in this case, there was like 3. Christy Sage, mists, and singing bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then whatever
I
else
think I had used a bell. I use a bell for detection. So I'll go through and ring a bell, and if it clunks, you have some stagnant energy, so you can then cleanse. Like, I mean, you can cleanse with the bell, but I usually personally use a bell for detection of stagnant. That's cool. Or
Okay, I love that. There's a little inside scoop. So we got to make sure we cleanse the venue before we leave this year.
I'm thinking of just sticking incense sticks everywhere,
right?
And like lighting them all and just walking away.
Honestly, just be like, here. We need to like create like a little like good vibes spiritual little smoke bomb or something, just to like, or just like leave a little sachet of something somewhere and just be like,
an herb blend. Let's sprinkle around an herb blend.
We should.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Because that's better than the woman that was sound cleansing at one of the places we set up one time, and her singing bowl was tuned to some note that made me want to punch people.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
And she was like, can I cleanse your side? I'm like, no, get away from me, please.
Good. Thanks, bye-bye.
So we can just sprinkle herbs. No one will know.
There you go. That'll be great. I love it. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's such a good story. I'm gonna be thinking about that one for a while. And we're gonna we're gonna set the intention that trauma dumpers just can't find us. Like, they don't even know where that venue's at. Doesn't matter. It's on Google Maps. They can't find any of us.
Yes.
I love it. Very cool. I have a card.
Oh, God.
The United Nations just texted, and they need you to come up with a Santa Claus like mascot for a less popular holiday. Stat. What do you pick, and what's their whole deal?
Well, I have to know what the holiday is. Are they not giving me any
They're
information?
not giving you any. So, what holiday would you pick? Because I know I would
It
pick
has to be a
Halloween.
less. Well, yeah, I'd pick Halloween too, and
Yeah.
yeah. But if we're going with like a lesser holiday,
It's true. It's true. I think. Oh, go ahead. Did you come up with something?
no.
Because I was thinking, I think like a cute little like friendly monster for Valentine's Day would be adorable. Like I'm thinking like Monsters Inc. Like Mike
Okay.
and Sully. Yeah. Like a fuzzy pink monster. Just like that pops out and is like, here's some love.
What about making International Women's Day much bigger and having
Yes.
a stunning goddess?
Yes.
Like
Oh, I
a
love that.
stunning goddess with like a headdress of moonbeams. I don't know.
Yes. I
But
love yours.
I'm
Oh my
going,
gosh.
yeah, I'm going semi-political with it. Like, let's
I love
boost
it.
up International Women's Day
I love that.
a lot more. And now we get a mascot that we get to have parades and stuff. And she's
I'm
just
here for it.
a goddess, a diva goddess.
I'm so here for that. I'm thinking of like Hedy Lamar's like sparkly star. I don't even know crown halo thing. Oh my gosh. Yes, 100%.
And snakes. There's going to be snakes.
Obviously.
Maybe she has one like wrapped around
Okay. Okay.
something. Yes. That's what I'm going with. That's what I'm going with right there.
Oh, I like your idea even better. You win this round. That's awesome. Oh, it's amazing. Well, thanks y'all for listening and tuning in. Thank you for subscribing, liking, reviewing us 5 stars, please, on all the platforms. And please reach out to us at twowitchestalkingpod@gmail.com with your witchy confessions, your stories. We would love to read some more of those on the air. That was just a fun episode. So send us yours. Find us on Patreon. Find us on YouTube as well. Our YouTube videos are on the Ink Goddess Creations account under podcast. But other than that, you can find us anywhere Two Witches Talking. And we'd love to hang out with you online. So stop by and say hi.
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks again, y'all. See you next week.
Bye.